What's up, guys? Welcome into the latest edition of Prem Talk, your go-to spot for anything Premier League. I'm Zeki Millen. It's been a little bit of time since we talked to you last. Um, Christmas holiday. Hope everyone had a good Christmas. But Premier League this weekend, kind of all over the place. We're going to talk about the title race for a little bit. Then it's just me and Mill today, so we're going to talk about United for a good portion of it. So click off whenever you want, or stay for the whole show. Up to you. But getting into it, we just watched Liverpool lose to Leicester 1-0 at the King Power. What a match. I mean, Leicester have been injury driven, COVID driven, a lot of players out today, but and after losing in a historical day 6-3 on Boxing Day to City, they come out and beat Liverpool uh, less than uh, less than 2 days after. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Mate, it's exactly what I said in the group chat when I said I wonder what Brendan Rodgers said at half time at City. And wouldn't you love to be in the dressing room where Brendan Rodgers is like screaming at you to play football? Like he's a genius. I'm sad we don't have him. I'm sad we don't have Brendan Rodgers.
I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough one with Rodgers because obviously, I mean, they got absolutely smashed. I mean, credit to them though. They like expelled a lot of energy in that second half against City. They
Mm.
down 4-0, they came back and scored 3 goals. It was 4-3. At one point it was a match.
Yeah.
But I mean, they showed a lot of fight today. I don't know if it was just Leicester being good or Liverpool being bad, but Liverpool were kind of shocking today. Um, a lot of missed chances. I mean, Sadio Mane, I mean, help him. I don't know what's gone on with him ever since that 2019 season. It's been a decline since then. I mean, he hasn't scored now in 9 games, 9 matches, Mil.
I swear he has a drought like every season, but always gets the numbers anyways. It's like every season there's like a little drought with him, and then he starts banging
I mean,
goals in it.
this drought has been on a long time with him, but what I want to talk about is well, let's lay into Trent a little bit. All right, let's lay into Trent Alexander-Arnold a little bit, just for this episode. Like Trent gets all this talk, and I've said it for months, years even. He's not a right back. He doesn't play the right back position for any other team, any other top six side in the Prem. He doesn't get in at right back because he's not a good right back. He's not a good defender. He's so good in the attacking third that it takes away from people just think that he's so good, he's so good, he gets in the team. Defensively, he's shocking. He's horrendous.
Yeah, but I think he likes playing right back because it gives him the freedom to run forward. Do you know what I mean? Like if you said like where would you say he's playing? Like centre mid or right wing?
Today he
Because
was
he's
all
playing
over.
centre mid.
He was on the left wing at times today. Like he's so out of
Oh,
position. The problem with him at right back is that he's rarely ever there. You know what I mean? Like Liverpool's a team that likes to possess. They like to kind of break through the third line. So Trent can play wherever he wants, really. But when they're in a tough game like Leicester today, and they're getting just countered every single time, they
yeah.
switch it to Trent's side. I mean, they scored off of Trent's side because he was out of position.
Yeah.
So
Mate, the thing is though, like Klopp plays such attacking football that he definitely just like encourages his fullbacks to get as far forward as possible and just trust the two centre backs that he's got because he's got two quality centre backs who know each other and a really quality keeper. I think that's just like their target for every match. That's why they like can win some games 5-0 against a rival. Do you know what I mean? They're all out attack because their defense is naturally so good. I think that today, like, yeah, they played poorly, like to their thing. But I think Leicester were also incredible today. Like they just fought so hard. Um,
to be fair, yeah, no, I mean,
that
yeah,
made
you're right.
them go
You're right.
there.
You're smiling at me. No, I mean, you're right. And I'm scared for them though because they got further injuries now. I think Vardy's done his hamstring again. I don't know how bad it is, obviously, but I mean, how does it shape up into the title race now? Because now Chelsea, Liverpool equal on points at 41. Um, City have a 6 point lead at the top, all playing the same amount of matches. Is it City's to lose now? Like, is it just have they won it?
City is so good at football. Like I hate saying that, but they just are. They're like, I don't know, they're so consistently like not even better, just dominant. Like they could embarrass about 6 teams a season, like minimum. That's like an expectation for them. They're just so good. Um, they can like they're like the best attacking side, I think, and their defense is really good as well.
Yeah, it's really frustrating. Really is. Like
Yeah,
it's not even really fun to watch them play anymore. Like they're just too good. They just score too many goals, and it's just every single match they play, they just have the ball the whole time. And like De Bruyne, now De Bruyne is back. Like De Bruyne wasn't playing for the first half of the season.
yeah,
Now De Bruyne's back. I mean, Mahrez is firing, Sterling's firing, Bernardo Silva's firing. Foden's got dropped recently from his off the pitch stuff, but
mm,
it's just everywhere you look, they have two full 11s that could compete for the Premier League.
yeah,
Um, it's absurd to me, and obviously they put six past Leicester. Happy days. Cancelo looks good. See, Cancelo to me, people like put him and Trent in the same category as their attacking fullbacks, which they are. But Cancelo, I think, is miles above Trent, miles, because he can
yeah.
actually defend decently. He keeps his position, and then when it's on, he goes forward and creates chances. So if I'm having to choose between Cancelo and Trent, I'm taking Cancelo every day of the week.
I think yeah, but it also depends like what you want from your team. Because I think if you're playing United system, I would take Cancelo. But like if you're playing, sorry, if you were playing United system before Ranić, I'd pick Cancelo. Whereas if like with Ranić, I'd now pick Trent because like of the attacking like overlaps and like his ability to go forward. I would pick Trent, but I think those two are so close at the top of the league, and like every other right back is so far below them. Maybe not every other.
Yeah.
Reece James.
I mean, we don't have we don't have Sam and Nate on the show
Yeah,
today, but
we're allowed to talk about it. Reece James.
yeah, we
Yeah,
don't really have to talk too much about them. But what the hell is going on with all the pens that Chelsea get? I feel like every match they get
yeah.
two pens, like every single
And
time. Jorginho's just racking up the stats right now.
he's the third best player in the world. I think he deserves some respect.
Like honestly though,
I don't know what to say.
Jorginho,
Like he gets pens and he scores. It's
like
annoying.
how many pens? Like how can
Lukaku
United
was
go?
good today though, as well.
We had, but like not a word is said. Not a word is said about Jorginho and all of his pens. I think he has over the last two seasons. I think he has like something like over 20 goals. They're all pens. Every
Nice.
single one of them is a pen. And I don't get why no one's batting an eye at that. And when the season United had like a record, like 19 pens, I think we got was 2 seasons ago. Everyone was like, oh, VAR Chester United, penalty, penalty, penalty. We've gotten two pens this season. Chelsea have gotten, what is it now? Like 10,
Yeah.
10 plus,
I
and
think
we're only halfway through.
I think the argument comes from like United's pen takers, let's say like Bruno, Ronaldo and stuff. They're players that like do get goals, obviously apart from pens. So they're associated in a goals race essentially with other players like Salah and stuff. Obviously not near Salah and Kane, but like last season, Bruno scored like so many goals. Few of them were from pens, but Jorginho doesn't really score many goals that aren't pens. So when he's got high numbers of goals, it just shows that he's only there for penalty kicks. His job isn't to like shoot and go forward and attack goal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like maybe he's just like so incredibly clutch with their penalties in training and stuff. They were like, yeah, you should take penalties. I was like, okay, cool. He did his little run up and then now he's just a penalty taker.
Just so frustrating. Like every time I see this man play, it's just
Nah,
does a little hop
Lukaku did
skip
well
and
to get
then
that penalty though. Like Lukaku looks like in good
sure.
shape, like sprinting, physical. He
Yeah,
loves
I think that
Chelsea.
they
He
missed him a
loves
lot.
Chelsea. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
I loved Lukaku. He loves
I
Chelsea.
really didn't that much. I've never been a huge Lukaku fan myself, but I mean he had a good match and he obviously scored and then drew the pen, so they've been missing him a
So
lot.
OP on FIFA.
Yeah, I think he's gonna gets fit right back in the lineup.
Mm,
or Brighton. They play Brighton tomorrow.
mm.
Tomorrow. It might be
No.
tomorrow. I think
Yeah.
it is tomorrow.
Uh,
They play Brighton tomorrow. I think Lukaku's in there. Thomas Tuchel, I don't know if you saw it, was really, really um angry in his post-match presser, even though they won 3-1. Just kind of laying into the league itself with the uh fixture congestion and how it's unfair that everyone's got to play with COVID and all that, like 3 matches a week at some point. So I know a lot of managers are getting really mad about that.
United Burnley. Chris Wood. No.
Man, yeah,
We're gonna lose a 1-0 Chris Wood.
see, we didn't watch United play for what was it, 2 weeks, more than 2 weeks it was, and I was just dying to get them back. Like I just wanted a match day, and after 5 minutes of playing, I was just like, ugh, let them have another week off. Like so horrendous United were. I mean, you've taken us right into United, so I guess we'll start talking about that. But um, I'm fuming. I mean, we couldn't record. We were supposed to record. For everyone watching, we were supposed to record yesterday. And I just said no. I couldn't bring myself to get in front of a camera with that performance yesterday. But United dropped points, drew to Newcastle 1-1, a very lucky draw as well. I mean, David De Gea, I'll say it again, he's the best goalkeeper on the planet. Like it's unbelievable
Mate,
how good that man is. But before I get into my thing, I want to know what your main takeaways were from that
mate, every
abysmal
time
performance.
every time he made one of his like top class saves that game, like with the Saint Maximin one and the one right at the end where the guy hit the post and it came back to Almiron.
Almiron. Yeah.
Yeah, and he like did that save. I was just saying, like on the sofa, he's the best keeper in the world. Like I won't have it that like someone thinks that Ramsdale's a better keeper than De Gea. Like he's on good form. He's not a better keeper than De Gea, and like same with Allison. Except Alisson's not about form. Alisson's a great keeper, but De Gea just he's a different
Yeah.
planet. Like you cannot be human and do the stuff that he does. He's a god in the sticks. Like I put my life on him in goal. He's like Aaron Wan-Bissaka was 2 years ago in a one-on-one situation. Do you know what I mean? You just have that safety, and yeah. But
I
okay,
think the issue with De Gea and all these like he's not as good as an Allison or an Ederson or an All Black if you want to go out the Prem. People just look at the clean sheet stat and be like,
yeah,
De Gea concedes so many goals. How can he be in
yeah.
the same conversation as an Allison? He's got a bunch of prats playing right in front of him, like a
They
bunch
also
of idiots.
they also put like distribution in as a comparative thing to like actually stopping shots. Like
Yeah,
stopping shots like that any other team with United's defense, how shit it's been sorry, how bad it's been over the past few years. Um that those shots coming in on goal are like way more frequently dangerous at United than they are at other teams as well. So he's called into action way more. Same with
yeah.
Ramsdale. Like Ramsdale's been tested loads and he's like proven it. That Ramsdale's on good form. I think Allison just has the occasional screamer of a save, and I'm just like, De Gea does
Yeah,
it every game.
to be fair, Allison isn't called into action that often. He's not like if from a
It's
pure if you
distribution.
just
It's distribution.
I mean, anyone that tells me Allison or Ederson is a better goalkeeper than David De Gea, I tell them go watch literally any United match from the season, any of them, and just
I think Edison is
even
like
we concede
all.
5 goals in. He's not. De Gea shot stopping. If we're just gonna go shot stopping first, no one comes close to De Gea.
Yeah,
No one. But in terms of overall goalkeeping ability, there's no one better than him right now. No one. It's
mate,
not, especially in the Prem. No, absolutely no. You put De Gea behind the defense of City or behind the defense of Liverpool, he's getting Player of the Season shouts. I'm telling you that right now. But enough with De Gea.
he would have been perfect in the Iker Casillas era of football. He would have been
How'd you say
perfect.
that?
I said Iker
What?
first.
Oh my, yeah. No,
I
he
don't
would
know
have.
how you pronounce that. Iker.
Iker Casillas.
Oh well, there we go. Spanish lessons with Zeki.
Um, I was shouting at this telly the entire time. and I'm looking at all these players wearing the United badge and just thinking to myself, how the hell are they still employed at Manchester United? Like, how does Fred still have a job at Manchester United? How does he still have a job? How is he still employed at the club for playing the way he does? He has two decent, decent games against Palace, um, Norwich,
No.
and then yeah, exactly, and then everyone's like, oh, he's not that bad, he's not that bad. New manager Ranić. He lost the ball yesterday every time he got it. Every time it's like he's doing a little flip in the air. He's on the ground and sending him on the counter every single time. Against Newcastle. He let John Joe Shelby play him out the park yesterday.
Yeah. Mate, I think this made me ask like a very weird question. Okay. Um, Ranić. So Ollie didn't pick Donny, right? Didn't pick him often, especially not like, especially when Fred and McTominay were playing badly, he didn't pick him. So there was something there as to why he wasn't picking Donny. Ranić's come in and he's had time with the team. Why has he not picked Donny?
I was asking myself the same thing
So what? No,
yesterday.
what is it? Is it Fred and McTominay are incredible in training, and Donny's like just not good enough?
Here's my thing. So
Are you
I think when I thought it was going to start, see, the thing is, if you go back to before our matches got postponed with COVID, there was going right after the Norwich match, we played Brentford, I think 2 days after that
Yeah.
Norwich match, the one that we watched together. Um, there was going to be squad rotation. So that Brentford match, I think Donny was a lock to start in.
Mm.
So then obviously postponed. Brighton on the weekend postponed. So then there's like this whole 2 week stretch where the training ground's closed and all that. But I
Think
thought
he's gonna
Donny was going
play?
to start either way
You think he's
because
gonna play? He's been saved.
see, I don't know because Rania came out and said he values Donny. Like Ranić is very vocal about who is leaving and who's not leaving. Like with the whole Martial and Lingard situation, he comes out and says if they don't want to be here, they're gone. Like you shouldn't have to convince someone to stay part of Man United
Yeah,
because we're Man United. So
I rate that as
Martial's
well.
gone.
The
Oh, do
players
you?
who are like actually unhappy will feel so much more
No,
comfortable about
exactly.
being open.
And he dropped Martial. Martial wasn't even in the squad yesterday. Same with Lingard. So like he put Elanga on the bench, I think. He's bringing in young talent, putting them on the bench in place of the players that don't want to stay. But he rates Donny highly, is what he said. But then he doesn't play him in a game like that. I mean, the halftime sub of Cavani, I
Mm.
appreciate. I thought it was a great decision. But he should have brought Donny on then as well. I
Yeah,
thought Donny at halftime for Fred would have been perfect. Because I mean, literally every time Fred got the ball, he lost it. It was he was playing for Newcastle. He was wearing a black and white shirt under the United jersey and just playing for them. But I mean, after that performance, with the quick turnaround to Burnley on Thursday, if Donny doesn't start, I think he's gone. I really do. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but he must start on Thursday against Burnley. It's a must.
do you think Fred is just like an incredible player in training, and then just gets nervous in front of big crowds?
No, see, the thing with Fred is, you know the amount of times he just doesn't have the ability that's required to
Yeah.
play for Manchester United. He just doesn't. Because,
Uh,
I know that because every time he gets the ball, Ronaldo's making a darting run in behind. He looks up, sees it, looks down at the ball, and he just can't play it. Like, he doesn't have the technical ability to play that ball in, like a Donny has, like a Bruno has. And
mm,
you see, like, when he tries to do it, he just doesn't come off because he doesn't have the ability. He's out of his depth playing in
mm,
that role. And it's so frustrating. And Ronaldo was getting so frustrated yesterday. It hurt me watching that because I mean he's 37 in a month's time. Like
yeah.
he's sprinting, making these beautiful runs in behind. He's not getting the ball ever, and it's just Fred's not the man. He's just not. Like if you were to tell an 8-year-old me watching that treble or the back-to-back-to-back Premier League titles with United, with the midfield of Carrick, Anderson, Scholes, all them, Park, if you would have told me that in what 10, 13 years' time, we were having Fred and McTominay in the midfield, I'd think, are these Premier League players? Like, do they actually play in the Prem? Because I stand by this now. Fred and McTominay don't get in to any of the top 12 sides in the Premier
Mm,
League. They don't. Maybe even 15. Aside the relegation zone, I don't think they get into any of those midfields.
yeah, I agree.
It's
Mate,
ridiculous.
do you think our January transfer window is going to be like active?
Yeah, I think it's going to be very efficient, very active because not necessarily in terms of people coming in, but I think there's going to be a lot of players going out. Martial, one of them. I know we just rejected the bid from Sevilla, but I think it's a matter of time before that happens. Um, Martial gone, Lingard gone. Um, it's tough to say with Donny because from what we heard with Ranić, he wants to keep him.
Mm,
Thursday will be very telling. Thursday's the last match before the new year,
yeah.
so I think if Donny doesn't get a start, then he's gone. I think we will bring in a defensive midfielder or a box to
Barney's
box at
going.
least. As we're linked to a lot of players right now. I think we do bring in one midfielder. I think we do.
We're looking at that. I don't know how to say this guy's name. Vlahovic. Vlahovic.
Vlahovic, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Um, he he's on some nuts figures in Serie A, like his goals in the league.
Yeah.
So like that would be quite cool because Eddie's probably going as well, Cavani.
That made me so mad. That made me so mad. And that actually
I'm
made me dislike
heartbroken.
Cavani a little bit. It really
No.
did. Yes, because if you actually think about it, Mark Goldberg was talking about this the other day, like briefly, but it made me think. Ever since we got Cavani, can you actually say with confidence that he's wanted to play for the club? Like, remember, there's always been issues with Cavani. His first season he came in, it was no fans. Um, it was Project Restart is when we really got the glimpse of Cavani at United. But then his I don't know if it was his dad was saying that he wants to be somewhere where he can win trophies, making a mockery of United, basically saying we're not in any trophies. He wants to go back to um, Uruguay and play in his hometown where he can compete for titles or something like that, like
Yeah,
the South American title, whatever that was. So
yeah.
there was a whole push like saying he was going to leave, he wants out because we don't win anything. And then new season comes out, fans are back in. Um, he's playing, he gets hurt, and now this whole thing, he's pushing for a move out of United to Barcelona. Like he's not going home. Now going to what's supposed to be a La Liga force in Barcelona to go play. So it seems like he's always pushing for a move out, which I don't like. Like I feel like he's
No,
never actually wanted to stay.
I think he works so hard, but he also doesn't get enough play time as well. Like I think he wants to play with Ronaldo. But the fact that he's not starting over Greenwood for him, like he might just
Yeah,
not
but it's his
agree
first
with.
game back, Mill. He's always hurt. He's been hurt
Yeah.
for months. Like he will. The one game they started together, Ronaldo, Cavani, and Spurs, they played tremendous together, and I rate him highly as a player. I do, but I
Maybe
mean,
maybe he'll
it's not
stay
our
up for
fault.
last night.
It's not Ranić's fault. He's been injured. Like he's not gonna.
He's probably
He
gonna
knows
start. He's probably gonna start against Burnley.
probably, but you have to understand. Like from a managerial position, Cavani has not got a full 90 in him. So when you start
Mm.
him, you're knowing you have to make a sub at the 60th minute mark or the 70th latest. You know what I mean? Like you need to
Yeah.
make a sub. So you're already going in saying you need to make a sub. When Cavani's been out for months with an injury, in his first match back, even when he's fully fit, he can't last a full 90. He's not going to start him in his first game
Mm.
back. You know what I mean? So I agree with the decision to not start Cavani against Newcastle, but I mean, we need 60 minutes of him and Ronaldo up front together.
Yeah.
Especially because Rashford has been abysmal, so bad. Rashford's been, and it pains me to say that because I like Rashford a lot.
Yeah.
So bad. I mean, he looks lost. He looks like he doesn't know how to dribble. It's crazy.
He was so good back in the day, like when he just didn't try to impress too hard. Do you know what I mean? Like he was more
Yeah.
efficient when he was younger. Because I think he didn't he was scared to be an individual when he was younger, so he played well in a team. Whereas here, I think like you give him the option to run like 20 yards and try and do the whole team. To be fair, he almost got away with it in one of them, but and scored like a winner. But I just don't think he has an end product. He runs for ages. Yeah, makes loads of ground, but always loses the ball, either by like a bad shot, gets tackled, doesn't pass, like
It's just
never
sad to
does
see,
anything.
but he needs to be dropped. And I don't know why. Greenwood and Rashford in that we'll talk about the system in a second, but playing Greenwood and Rashford together on opposite sides of what they're normally playing is to me was so dumb. Like they've never really
Mm,
played great together on the pitch at the same time, Greenwood and Rashford. I know there was that one stretch when our front three, when we played a 4-3-3, scored a bunch
mm,
like 2 seasons ago with both of them in it. But as of late, they don't play well together, and especially with the focal point that Ronaldo is in, there's too much head down, don't want to pass players in the front lineup, and it was just a bunch of dribbles that he kept losing. Ronaldo never got
mm.
he didn't get we didn't create one chance for him against Newcastle. 19th place Newcastle. Ronaldo doesn't get one sniff of goal. Like I shouldn't even be
Yeah.
saying these words. Like it shouldn't happen.
I don't know why we can never break down a low block. Like I get they're like one of the most difficult and frustrating games, a low block. But like why aren't we have the capacity to attack because we have good players. Why
Do
aren't we
we?
going without attack?
Do we? Do we
I
have a
just don't
player
think
that can
what we're
break a low
seeing.
block though? Like we don't. I feel like we don't have a classic 10. Like when I think of a 10 dribbles at the heart, breaks down, and just gets past people. I think of a Felipe Coutinho is what I think of when I think of a 10, classic 10. We don't
Zidane.
have. Yeah, exactly. We don't have like Bruno is not that. He's a decent passer of the ball. He can shoot, but he's not that guy that's going to dribble and break down lines. He's just not. And
Mm,
when Cavani came on and Fred went off, Bruno dropped down into the lower two, and I think he was making a difference in the midfield, like in the proper midfield, and letting the attackers go attack. But we don't have that guy, unfortunately. So
yeah.
Sancho's
Mate,
supposed to be that guy.
I don't rate the 4-2-2
Yeah,
2 or whatever it's called.
I don't
However
either.
many-
I really don't. It's not the United way. It's just not.
I
It's just not.
just I would love to see a 4-4-2.
That's where we differ. All right, that is where we a flat 4-4-2. Flat.
Would you not be keen to see what it's like?
Who's gonna play the Bruno and Donny?
Yeah.
Is that so? Who's defending? Who
We might
defends
need
that?
it's a 4-4-2. They're back and forth. We need like obviously if we had Pogba, we could try him and Bruno or him and Noni. Oh my god, it's getting excited to think about this.
Okay,
Hey,
let's relax.
Sancho, Ronaldo, Cavani, Rashford on the left.
I
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that I mean might as well just try it, but I think that midfield is too weak because I think Bruno, not even Bruno, whoever Bruno's because I know Bruno will work. I know he will. But that is a very small and weak midfield too. Like when you play in the classic United 4-4-2, you had a Carrick in there, you had Park in
Yeah,
there, who were I mean Carrick wasn't that strong, but Park was he bodied guys off the ball, you know? And he could dribble with it, he could carry it as well. Like that's the 4-4-2 system that I'm thinking of. And I just think Bruno and Donny are too weak and fragile in
yeah.
there to be a midfield too. But
Well then, if you're disagreeing the 4-4-2, then with the team that we've got a 4-3-3, but like it has to be like an attacking one. Like we need to start attacking teams. We can't be 1-0ing Norwich and drawing to
no, I know I get
Newcastle.
that. Yeah, I get that. I mean, it's also a question of I think Luke Shaw is going to start the next match. I think he will.
We should.
Um, it's time for a fullback rotation. Although I think I'd rather see Dallo on the pitch than Wan-Bissaka because I
No,
think
I think I think
Wan-Bissaka's
I think
horrendous.
Dallow's done like decent.
Yeah, and I guess Burnley. If you thought Newcastle was bad in the low block, I can't even imagine what Thursday's going to be like. It's gonna be a 9-1 formation.
Hey, it's
Nine
gonna be
defenders and
a
Chris
1-0
Wood.
Chris Wood. Yeah.
It's just it's. But I don't know because I get that again a 4-3-3. I think it would suit us greatly because
Yeah,
even
mate.
when you bring Cavani on, you could start
End
Ronaldo on the
product,
left.
if we had end product, like if our crosses met Ronaldo's head, if our passes got to our strikers, they just don't. The final pass or the final shot is never there. It's just like so draining to watch.
If we did a 4-3-3, I'd be fine with McTominay still playing because I do want to praise McTominay a little bit. I still don't think he's good enough, but I saw an improvement from his standpoint from where he's been.
Yeah,
He was always looking up. He was always playing it forward, which I think he hasn't done all season. And to be fair, there were a lot of passes that they were always looking up to play. Whether he has the technical ability to do that or not is besides the point. But so he's made the mental switch that he's got to look up and look up first to play it forward, which he did a little bit. But if we did a 4-3-3, I'd be fine with McTominay, Donny, and Bruno as the three. Sancho needs to play. He needs game time, especially in this run where like Sancho suits a low block. He just does. He's a one-on-one player who likes to take people on. You know what I mean? Like um, Sancho on the right. I think I want to start Ronaldo on the left, put Cavani at striker. That's what I want to do. When Ronaldo played the last 3 seasons at Juve, yes, he's not a pacey winger like Rashford anymore, but he plays the left wing role better than most
yeah,
at the age of 37 now. That's where he thrives in. So I'd like to see that, but that's just me.
yeah. With Cavani up, I
Yeah, and
agree.
then when and
That'd
then
be
when
interesting.
Cavani gets subbed for the last 20 minutes, put him as striker and then bring on a pacey winger on the left. Like I think
Put
we
on
might as well
Greenwood,
try it. Yeah, bring Greenwood
mate.
on or start Greenwood. I don't care what you do.
I'm excited to see what team plays against Burnley. Like if there's a lot of rotation, I want to see like if Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, Van der Beek.
Yeah,
How long is Pogba injured for?
I think he's coming back this month at some point or in Jan. So I don't know. It's
If
it's
he
gonna be
leaves,
tough, but that is. I mean, either way, I think if he's gone, he's not gonna leave in Jan. So we have him for the season. If he's gonna leave in the
yeah,
summer, we might as well get something out of the player that we have. We need to get top four. We need to get in. As the weeks progress, it's looking less likely and less likely that we're gonna get top four.
yeah,
Like I'm looking at the
I
table,
know.
and that 2 points dropped was shocking and so bad
It's so
because
huge.
people
We would
always
have
say like
been
with
fourth.
the we got games in hand. That's why you always take the points over games in hand. You always take the points. You don't want games in hand. And we're 2 games back now, sitting on 28. Fourth spot is 35. So if we win our two in hand, we're still sitting short, a point short of fourth spot. And that's assuming Spurs don't win both of their games in hand. And the fact that they drew today Southampton is so huge for us as well. But we missed a really big chance to get the gap closer. It's really unfortunate.
We should have just won. Like it's Newcastle.
The
I
thing
don't
is,
know.
we were on the ropes. We are
Yeah, I know.
lucky to have drawn that match. We should have
I know.
lost.
Without David De Gea, we'd be bottom half of the table easy.
I mean, Eddie Howe in his post match was like he was mad that they drew. Like the players you could see on the pitch, they were Newcastle was not wasting time. They were putting the ball down, look to play. Like they thought they deserved to get a result, which is so sad. We were on the ropes to a 19th place team in the league who conceded the most goals and we only put one past them. Like a scuff shot at that. It's just so sad. So sad.
We'll see against Burnley.
Yeah, what's your prediction for Thursday? Do you think we win? Think we win? Think we score?
I, I'll never predict that we lose because I just don't. I think we can win every game. So if we play like to the best of our ability, then yeah, we'll win. But if we play like as we've been playing on form, I can so see like a 1-0 Chris Wood. Like I think that is very likely given our form.
Yeah.
What about
Um,
you?
I my predictor, I predicted 2-0 United just because I think we
Yeah,
get a result. I think Rangnick's really
we
mad. I
have
think
to.
we see if I see I see that we might do a formation swap, just a change of game plan
He
because it's
he
not
needs
working.
he needs a result, Ranić.
He does. Technically hasn't lost, but that was a loss, that match. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We got 3 matches left this week. Obviously Newcastle got postponed. Also, that's concerning. Newcastle got their match called off because of COVID issues in the first team. We just played them yesterday, so I don't know what that means for us, but um, we're
We'll
scheduled
play,
to play Burnley on Thursday. City play
we'll
Brighton
play.
tomorrow. Brentford, or sorry, Chelsea play Brighton tomorrow. Brentford play City as well. Um, yeah, and then we've got Burnley on Thursday, so it's been a fun holiday period. Good Boxing Day matchups, always high scoring. We continue to be the laughing stock of the league, but it's all right. Looking forward for Thursday. Hope everyone had a good Christmas. We should get another episode out. Probably not before New Year's, but we'll do a recap on New Year's Day match, and because we got big matches that weekend, we got Arsenal City coming up, Chelsea Liverpool is that weekend, so it's a huge weekend on New Year's Day. So thank you guys for watching. Please smash a like, subscribe, comment your questions, and we will talk to you on New Year's Day. Happy New Year.